Hi, this is Dynamics Accounting and Finance Tips. My name is Jolie. Today we're just going to take a sneak peek at asset leasing module. And just to give you a little bit of history about this module, it was actually designed by an accounting firm. I won't tell you who that accounting firm is, but I'll let you Google it. With that in mind, an accounting audit firm designed something that is required by GAAP. It's ASC 842 to record your leases to the balance sheet, your finance leases. So your operating leases moved from operating, which is in the P&L, to or your operating statement to your balance sheet. And D365 lease asset leasing module does all of your journal entries for you. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek of that. So I'm pretty excited about it. This is our example for today. So we purchased a vehicle. We purchased a 2021 Ford F-150 for $47,872. The terms are 72 months. Installments is $664.89 a month. We have an incremental borrowing rate of 1.9%. We got a good deal. And the commencement date is August 12th. It's an ordinary an annuity. You probably know this means that the payment is due at the end of the period, and the company's useful life of equipment or vehicles is 8 years or 96 months. Okay, let's get into D365, and we're going to go over to modules. Now, I have enabled this in feature management, which you would need to do ahead of time, and it's called asset leasing. So we're just going to go to asset leasing, and we're going to come up here to lease summary. And there's a wonderful table header view where you can add in as many columns about the asset as you like, so you can have a visibility of all your leases in one spot. We're going to go to New, and we're going to type our description. The fair value of the asset, implicit rate we wouldn't have, but we do have the incremental borrowing rate. We are compounding our interest monthly. The company determines the useful life to be 8 years or 96 months. We are going to transfer ownership at the end of the lease. Our lease group, and we've set these up ahead of time, is a vehicle lease. Vendor account, we have also created a vendor for Ford Motor Credit. Oh, there we go. Now we can actually create a fixed asset ahead of time and assign the asset here in which it would acquire the asset as soon as we post the initial journal. But for this purpose, we're not going to do that. We're going to book our depreciation through the asset leasing module. Super neat. Okay, commencement date would be, let's do it tomorrow. We're going to add our payment schedule line. So this is where we're going to tell the system how many payments that we are going to have. And this is actually what's going to calculate our present value. So we have 72 payments in months, and our payments are $664.89 a month. Now there's nothing else that's required in order to create books. This is all you need in order to create books. You need a vendor account, that's for sure. You need a vendor group. You need payment schedule lines as well, but location is optional. We're going to say that this vehicle lives in corporate, and we're going to create the schedules. The schedules just take a few seconds to create. The schedules are now created. This is again the header under Lease tab, but under Books, if you go to Books, that's where your schedules will live. Now, you've created the schedule, so if you see this header information and you notice something's wrong, you can change anything on the header, but if you change anything, you're going to have to recreate the schedules by pushing this button up here at the top under Function. For now, we're going to go to our schedules and we're going to look and confirm our schedules. So we'll go to payment schedule always first. You have to confirm your payment schedule first. And really why you want to do that is because you want to make sure that your present value is calculated correctly and your payment amounts are calculated correctly. So in this case, I have done a present value calculation in Excel just so I can feel confident that the system is working correctly and this number does match my present value. I could confirm this schedule at this point, and when I do that, it confirms all my schedules at one time. But I want to go ahead and confirm each schedule. So what I would do is go into my liability amortization schedule, make sure my payments match. Uh, this is beginning balance would always be your present value, and make sure my interest matches. This interest should match the agreed interest on the lease. So as long as those match, don't confirm anything on this schedule. Again, the payment schedules where you confirm all your schedules. Then I can look at the depreciation, just do a quick view, and am I depreciating out over the life of the useful life of the asset? And I am. 96 months is what I've told the system to do. One of the things I need to point out, I should have pointed this out at the very beginning, is how does the system know if it's a finance, operating, or short-term lease? It does a test. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Right here on the header part of the book details, the system does a lease classification test. And if it meets one of 5 criterias defined by SC, defined by FASB, it's going to determine if it's a finance, operating, or short-term lease. You do have some options to override. This manual override can be taken off to where you don't have any options. But the way that this is designed is you'll really never have to worry about what type of lease it is. It's going to calculate it for you. It's phenomenal. And it's just how your books are set up. So we've looked at all our schedules. We're happy with all our schedules. Now we're just going to go in here and confirm our schedule. Now we cannot make any payments or make any journal entries until we confirm the schedules. All of our schedules are confirmed. We can't make a payment, we can't book depreciation until we create the initial recognition journal to book the right of use asset and the liability. So we go up here to function and we click initial recognition, and we go over here to our asset leasing journals. And here's our very initial journal for our lease. It's a debit to right of use asset, so it's booking an asset and a liability at the same time. The great thing about this is that you cannot change these amounts. So if I go to journal details, I cannot delete these amounts. I cannot change these ledger accounts. That's such a wonderful control. um, what I can do if I don't agree with these numbers based on a calculation I might have done outside the system, I could delete the entire journal. Then I would go to my header of my book, of my asset, update the data in the header, reconfirm my books, recreate my schedules, and reconfirm my schedules. So there's definitely options there. But this we're happy with, so we're going to post. Now, it will not let you make a payment or book any other journal entries until you post this initial recognition. Now I can go in and I can create my first payment journal. Now I can click inside this journal and it'll take me straight to the journal. If I wanted to look at it, and I can go to lines and I can see that this entry is debiting my liability and crediting the vendor. So it's going to be paying the vendor. This is my first payment. Beautiful. Now, we don't have to go into each one, and we don't have to go line by line. We can actually set up a batch to run these. But for this example, we're going to go into each schedule, and we're going to create a journal. Now, I don't necessarily even need to go into the journal one by one. I can create these here, and then I can go to my journals, and I can see the ones that are not posted on these books. And then I can review the accounts that they're posting to and the financial dimensions. In this case, we're debiting our interest and we're crediting our lease obligation, which is correct. And then highlight the next journal, which is our depreciation of the asset. So it's debiting depreciation and it's crediting accumulated depreciation. And we can post these directly from here as well. Beautiful functionality. Now, at any given time, you can see all of your liability transactions, as well as all of your asset transactions and expense transactions. This is just a preview of this amazing functionality. I'm so excited to bring this to clients and migrating the leases is going to be a great process as well. Please contact SA Global if you need any help with this. Let us help you deploy this. So excited. If you like these videos, please subscribe, please share, please leave comments, negative, positive. I'm open. I love the feedback. Thank you so much for watching.